year at the Off-Road Expo, we're hosting live episodes. Morgan, Darren Parsons, Blake, myself, Black Hat, we're all going to be doing live episodes in the demo area. Also, we're going to have over 100 pre-runners there. We're taking over 2 buildings. Dude, it's the Terra Expo. You guys use the code Terra Crew to save. If you guys are going, you guys save a couple bucks on your tickets. Thanks for tuning in. Hey guys, we're out here in Michigan, beautiful, beautiful Michigan. And as you can see, it's very green and beautiful out here. This is Rick Mikowski, and this is his beautiful F-150. We seen this thing out at Dirt Fest and it was a ripper. Absolute unit. This thing is amazing. So we definitely wanted to tell the story to you guys before we head on back home. This thing is super clean. I think you guys are going to love the proportions of it, the 40s, the authenticity. I'm loving the white bro fenders. You know what I mean? Rocking with style, definitely hardcore.
It's pretty raw.
Yeah, it's cool. He's like, man, he's like, I wish I could have painted it before. I'm like, no, dude, embrace the white fenders, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Very cool. All right, guys, so let's get into the details of this thing. Let's check it out. So Rick actually just got done with Dirt Fest this weekend. Were you at the dunes yesterday?
Yeah, I was at the dunes last night, made probably 5 or 10 laps with some of the California guys. It was a total blast. It was gnarly. So
doing laps. So they do laps here. It's directionals. It's tight, but it's fun. Like it's a tight area. It's not as big as, I think in the videos it looks very big.
Yeah,
but when you're here, it's not as big, but I will say the fun level is a 10, dude. So if you guys ever make it out here, running laps in the dunes is epic.
Yeah, it's almost like a little racetrack. Like once you get a line going, you get like 5 or 6 trucks and everybody's just kind of running a train together, you know, jumping
chasing each other,
whoop sections, just chasing for, you know, 5, 6 laps, then everything starts getting hot at the beach.
What's really cool is, they have the beach to pull up to, beautiful beach and everything. It's all super safe for families and stuff. But there's these pieces where they're cutting through the trees and it's like, it's just so epic.
Yeah.
It's so epic, you guys. So yeah, Midwest Dirt Fest, one day, second day, the dunes, and third day, the forest. Out at the Bucket Bros compound. So this thing is doing some work.
Yeah, it's been doing some work. Luckily, it's held up. That was actually my first time hitting the jump and running the Bucket Bros track. I kind of
that was the first time.
Kind of p***ed out last year and didn't do it. But,
no, dude, that's a serious.
Yeah, that was fun. I did 3 or 4 laps, 3 or 4 jumps. You know, I was running with some of my buddies out there and thrashing on it. That's what it's all about.
Just following their line, huh?
Yeah. Yep, just following the line. There were some gnarly ruts up in the woods, and yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, I could imagine the ruts get really deep.
Yep.
And they suck you in.
Yeah.
And then you're just stuck.
Yeah, literally. I mean,
trying to floor it out.
Especially with the guys like Wilkie and Eisenhower's out there. I mean, these ruts are, you know, 3-4 foot deep. And, you know, luckily it's all sandy, but you could see the tie rod and the beams are just dragging through the sand, you know?
Yeah.
As you're ripping through there. So you just got to stay on the gas, on the chip.
I have to say, guys, that the forest section is pretty technical, man. Like he's saying, yeah, I chickened out last year. No, dude, that is some serious stuff.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people don't drive their trucks to that level. Most trucks can drive to that level, or some can't, whatever, either way. But if you don't drive your truck to that level, no problem at all. But Rick did, and that's crazy, man. Hopefully we got some shots of that.
Yeah,
We'll cut to that right now. So guys, as you guys can see, pretty gnarly. Trees everywhere. It's like freaking Star Wars. Shoo, 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 shoo. Flying through the Death Star. Let's talk to Rick, find out his history, how he got into all this madness. Rick, tell us, man, what's the story, dude? Have you always done this kind of stuff? Is this new or what?
I mean, yeah, sure. So I've been a motorsports guy since day one, since I rolled out of the womb. Started riding dirt bikes when I was 5 years old. You know, I did motos. I had some 250s, 450s. About in high school, I got hurt, got stitched up many different times, and one of my good buddies actually crashed pretty hard and ended up passing away. So,
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
After that, I sold all the bikes. I got into side-by-sides, so I got into a Turbo S Razor, and I had that for a couple years, was right around at the dunes, and I work down in Pontiac, Michigan with 2 or 3 guys that have been kind of into this. So I was up here at the dunes one weekend with my fiance, and those guys were out there running laps in the trucks, and one buddy Neil was like, hey, get in and drive mine. And I was like, cool, let's do it. So I drove his truck for 3 laps and got back, was totally stoked about it. I literally got in my truck, loaded up the side-by-side, drove home that Sunday, listed my side-by-side for sale, sold it on Monday, and Tyson actually found this truck out in Minnesota.
Oh.
And I bought this truck on Friday. So there was like a 4-day gap between selling the side-by-side
Dang, you got
and buying a pre-runner.
You got stung pretty
I was
bad.
on it. I was hooked, I'm like, I'm never driving a side-by-side again. And that was about 4 years ago. So
wow,
yeah.
wow, man, that's incredible. So basically, how was it coming from a side-by-side to this? Because I mean, those turbos are pretty fast, man, and they have a lot of like grip in the turns.
They do.
This is a lot of counter steering and like
it is.
You have to drive this way more.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a different animal. I mean, the side-by-side, was a lot more nimble. James was saying it's the turbo. It's got a lot of power. I had paddles on it and the whole 9 yards, but you can't even keep up with something like this. So I mean, when you go through those 3-4 foot whoop sections, you get into some of the gnarly stuff.
You're floating.
The side-by-side, you're just bucking and bouncing, and it's just not fun. And what I loved about the trucks is you can just stay on the limiter, and it just goes through and just takes whatever you throw at it. So
dude,
there was nothing cooler than that to me to do that with a full-size truck. I'm like, I got to get me one of these things. So
awesome, man. So where have you been able to drive this thing?
Yeah, so I've had the truck street legal. I got the headlights, turn signals, horn. It's plated, insured. So I take it to the grocery store, take it out to dinner on Saturday, and
that's what's up. I love it.
We also do Midwest Dirt Fest. We come out here almost every weekend, every other weekend, and do the Silver Lake Sand Dunes, hang out here at the golf course.
Nice.
I got a couple jumps at the house and some trails, so I kind of run around the house, but that's about it.
That's awesome, man.
Yep.
So you've yet to taste the desert.
I've yet to taste the desert. These guys all keep telling me that I got to make it out there, and they want to plan a trip, and I'm pretty much like, well, this winter I need to finish my interior and put some air conditioning in it, and then I'll be ready to go. So
but I think we got to get Rick out there with us, you guys. Rick, if you come, man, we'll show you where to go. We'll take care of Rick. We'll show Rick where to go. Where do you guys want to see this truck in action, man? I would love to see this. I know this would rip in Ocotillo. You love Ocotillo. I think that'd be a good entry level.
Yep.
It's not super crazy there. A lot of like mid-size whoops. But there's some scary places. But we got to work Rick up to those places. But let's get you started in Ocotillo, Plaster, all that good stuff. But anyways, man, let's hop into this thing. So tell us, you got the truck. So Tyson found this truck for you.
Yeah. So
where?
Tyson found it on Facebook Marketplace. It was originally actually built by a guy in Vegas, and it was like half complete. And this guy bought it, and he somewhat finished it. It was a rather basic setup. So it had like Giant Motorsports beams, Dana 44 front hubs. It had the Giant Motorsports trailing arms, upper links in the back, so it was linked. It had some like super basic sway-away shocks, so nothing fancy. Junkyard 6.0 motor, 4L80, just had a manual valve body. But it did have some good parts. So it did have the Camberg 3.5-inch axle already, had the Camberg hubs, had the Willwood brakes. So the cage was all there, the back half was done. So it had a lot. It had good bones.
The meat and potatoes was all there.
Yeah, meat and potatoes was all there. So yeah, Tyson sent it to me, and I saw it on Facebook Marketplace. Was messaging the guy. Ended up, like I said, that Friday. So he actually moved to Minnesota from Vegas. Took the truck with him.
Wow.
Didn't have any use for it anymore because there's not anything to do with a pre-runner out in Minnesota. So
right.
Ended up messaging him, and he drove about 6 hours to Marquette in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and I drove from my house, so I live about 3 hours east of here.
Okay.
And I drove about 6 hours, met him up in Marquette in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Wow.
Loaded it on the trailer. We thrashed it in the Walmart parking lot a little bit, just jumped some curbs, and I was like, all right, cool, I'm sold.
All right, so it was driving.
Yeah, it was running. It was driving.
Okay.
Towed it home. Did a quick prep on it. Had some leaky shocks and whatnot. I actually rebuilt one of the bypasses. Got it out here at the dunes. Thrashed it about 2 or 3 times and was like, all right, I need more power and more suspension. So
okay, well, right on, dude. That's an awesome story, man, and it's so awesome that you were like willing to take on that build. You know what I mean? And start doing your own twist to it.
It's funny because I really wasn't. I didn't want to. I kind of was like in the mindset where I'm just gonna buy a truck and I'm not gonna work on it because I see all the countless hours and long nights and weeks and weeks of work that my buddies put into these things. And I'm like, I don't need to do that. I'm just gonna buy a truck and I'm not gonna mess with it. And it turned into a lot. So
right.
It had like
surprise.
Yeah, it had like an original Ford like chrome bumper on it.
Yeah.
That was one of the first things I did is cut that off, cut all the tubes off. This was actually the first thing I ever made was the bumper on the truck.
Nice,
and,
man.
I'm not a welder, not a fabricator. I borrowed my buddy's tube bender and notcher, and I kind of went to work. So
dude, you did a great job.
Yeah.
This is stout, bro.
I literally used like cardboard paper towel rolls, and I like notched it in the notcher and like mocked it up with a template myself, and welding.
Yes.
That was the first thing I ever did. So after that, I MIG'd that. I was like, okay, I want to learn how to TIG weld. So I bought a TIG welder, and then I TIG'd everything else that you guys are going to see on the truck. So.
Wow, dude, look at this guy, man. He's doing it all. He's diving right in, man. That's amazing.
Like, if I'm going to get into it, I'm just going to go all in, you know? So.
Heck yeah, dude. That's wonderful, man. So this is such a nice front grille. Is this all replaced new, or?
No, yeah. So it had some old, like, you know, those headlights that get really yellow. So it had the old yellow headlights in there. So I threw some new headlights in it. I painted the inserts on the grill when I did the bumper. I made the little, you know, skid plate on there.
So good.
Yeah, it turned out pretty sweet.
Great job, man. All right, so tell us about this front end, man.
Yeah, so that was actually the first thing that I did. So these are like the Gen 1 Blitzkrieg Motorsports beams. And these were actually on one of my buddy's trucks. So he replaced it and went to the Gen 2 BMS beams. So that was like a major upgrade for me. I wanted to get rid of those Dana 44 ball joints and go to like a kingpin style. So when I did that, so the Giant Motorsports kit was all bolt up. And, you know, I figured everything was just going to fit. And I was just going to be done in like, you know, 2 days. And, you know, it ended up being everything bolt on was completely cut off the truck. So the only thing that's actually still Giant is the steering swingers, and the tie rods in here are all still the Giant Motorsports setup.
Okay.
All I had to do was actually change the heims so that they fit onto the new knuckles.
Okay.
But yeah, up in here. So I ended up, to fit those BMS beams, I ended up having to cut off all of the bolt-on stuff that was on there. So all of this, the bump cans, the beam hangers, the frame plating, all that in there was all literally just me messing around in the pole barn, cutting stuff out of paper templates, and you know, learning how to TIG weld and getting that all did. So I did that at the same time, redid all the upper shock mounts. We could pop the hood and take a look at that in a minute.
Yeah, and, sure. Dang, man. So you went to work,
slick.
dude.
Yeah, I went to work on it. So after I finished the front end, and that was 2 winters ago, it still had those old sway away shocks and bypasses. And, you know, I really wanted a big king setup. So I ended up splooging a little bit and went with, you know, 2.5-inch, 16-inch stroke coilovers on all 4 corners.
Okay.
I got 3.5-inch 5.2 bypasses in the front, and then 4.072 bypasses with the fin resis in the back. So,
dang, some big boys.
Yeah, some big boy shocks.
All right,
that
man.
made a big difference in the ride quality for sure. So.
And then, so were these always 40s?
No, so actually, the truck came on 35s with just some like original, what do you call them, like the 15-inch Ford Alcoas, like that you would find on an OBS, and it was iconic, right? It had that era look to it, but you know, I wanted more tires, so I ended up same thing. My buddy, I was taking all his used parts, so I got his BMS beams and I got his General Grabber 37, so I stepped it up to the 37s.
And the BMS hub, right?
Yep, in the BMS hub. So I stepped it up to the 37s with the BMS hubs last year, and it had like I think it was the McNeil plus 3-inch fiberglass.
Okay.
And it was all painted to match. And then this winter, when I was doing the back, I'm like, all right, I got to get some 40s. So I splooged on a set of new 40s. So I went with the 40 by 12 5x17s with the, I think they're the Evo 2.5s.
Epic.
And then that spiraled into obviously needing all new glass. So.
Right. So how was that change, man, from 35 to 40?
Oh, it's world of a difference. Even between the 37s and the 40s, like they were those old school off-road General Grabbers. And these 40s, man, there's nothing like it. They just absolutely hook. I mean, whether you're aired down in the sand or, you know, you got 20, 25 PSI and you're out there thrashing in the dirt or on the moto track at Valley, you know, they just hook. They're awesome.
So just like ride quality overall.
Yeah, the ride quality.
Everything.
I mean, I almost want to say that the tires made almost as much of a difference as the new shocks did. I mean, it's impressive.
So the combination of all that, you're floating, dude.
Yeah,
you're on clouds.
Exactly.
He's on clouds, guys. Just, man, this is such a dreamy setup, dude. I don't think you understand how desired this setup is back home. Like, this is epic. That's why I was hounding down Rick. I'm like, can somebody find this guy for me? We had to tell this story, dude. Epic, man. So we got the Blitzkrieg hubs. We got Method wheels. So you moved up to Method?
Yep, moved up to the Methods, bought the wheels. Those were actually on the 37s. These literally have probably 5 runs on them. I mean, I got it out here in May of this year, and I mounted all the 40s up myself, and world of difference.
I'm a Method guy myself.
Yeah, awesome.
Right on, man.
Yeah, it was a lot of work stuff in the 40s, even with these the new fenders. You know, I threw the new fenders on here, and obviously I had to take probably 2 or 3 inches off of them. Up in here, there was some tubes up behind the fender originally, and this kind of swooped back, so I had to kind of cut this and 45 it and put a little kicker on here to hold that little bumper valance, because I really like this. A lot of guys just get rid of that and they move their tube bumper up. But
this is great.
I kind of like this factory valance. I feel like it kind of brings the whole truck together and makes it look a little bit more original. So
totally agree.
Wanted to keep that for sure.
Love it, dude. So who was the guy you bought all this stuff from?
That guy right there.
That's what I was gonna say. That truck down the road.
Yeah, I think you guys actually did an episode on that a couple years back, right after he did the Godzilla swap in it.
Yes, that's right, dude. Yeah, dang, so he moved up, dude.
Yeah, he's been moving up, and
what's crazy is this is top tier right here.
It is. This is all good parts. I was like, dude, don't don't sell any of that Blitzkrieg stuff you're taking off. I was like, I know you want the newer stuff, but I'm like, I'll buy all the Blitzkrieg stuff you had on that truck and throw it on.
Wild, dude.
Yep.
All right, man. So let's go through the rest of this. So did it have the house steering?
Yep. That's one of the things I never changed. That's just the Giant Motorsports steering swingers, tie rods. It had the Howe Ram Assist.
How does that feel with the 40s?
But no different than the 35s. I mean, it does great. It's strong. I've never really had an issue with it. I had to replace steering pump one time, but yeah, standard. For the most part, it's pretty stout. Yeah.
Right on, man. You want to share this motor? What do you have in this thing?
Yeah. So drivetrain wise, it came with a just a junkyard 6-liter. It had a factory ECU. It had a 4L80 with just a manual valve body, and that was about it. So obviously, it was one of the first things I realized when I went out in the sand. I'm like, I need more horsepower. I can't keep up with the big boys. So,
right. And then going up to this tire size too, like the whole combo, you're going to need it.
Yeah, exactly. So I started doing some research, talking to some different guys. So what it ended up doing is it was already set up and tabbed for an LS. It was already tabbed for the 4L80. So I'm like, I want to stick with that setup. I'm kind of a Chevy guy at heart, but my buddies convinced me to buy a Ford. So I ended up buying an LS3 430 horse long block crate engine right from GM Performance.
Oh, amazing.
Yep. So I took I would have got the 525, but I wanted to make it my own. So I pulled the heads off. I took it to a local Corvette shop, and the guy that had done some tuning and some head work on some of the cars that I've had in the past had those poured and polished. Got a hold of Maruzzi out there in California. He sent me the camshaft, sent me the valve springs, sent me the valve seals, the whole setup. So it's got the Maruzzi cam, Maruzzi valve train setup, poured and polished heads. It's got the fast 102 millimeter throttle body. It's running on the Holley Terminator X. It should be somewhere around 600 crank horse. So with that, obviously needed to get into the transmission. Got that apart. Got a Maximum off-road billet reverse manual valve body, all cone racing billet internals, Colhane billet tail cone. So it's got all the good stuff in it too.
Dang.
So with that, then I moved on to the 40s, and I'm like, okay, now I'm going to take out my third member. So I had just a nothing special, nothing cray, strange 9-inch, and that was a 513 rear gear.
Okay.
And with the 40s, I stepped it up to a 543 and splooged on the Evan Weller 10-inch. So
there it is.
It's
dang, that's a beautiful powertrain.
Yeah. So the powertrain's solid now. It's got a good motor. It's got a good transmission. It's got a good third member. It's got a good rear axle. And I've been thrashing that transmission and this motor setup for 3 years now, and
dude,
no issues. So
that's amazing.
Knock on wood.
There's trees everywhere here. You'll be fine.
Buy once, cry once, right? So,
absolutely, dude. Absolutely, man. And look at all the memories you're having in this thing, man.
Yeah, and I'm learning a lot along the way. So it's my first major build. I gutted the whole wiring in the entire truck, and I did the ECU myself, rewired the entire engine, replumbed everything.
Dude, you're a whole shop.
The fuel pump, the fuel pumps, the AN lines. I mean, the oil coolers. So obviously, once I put the motor, the transmission, everything in there, it just had some real small jerry rig radiator. I think I had one transmission cooler, no oil cooler. So I went all out, big CBR stuff. It's got the CBR dual 12-inch ball fan in the front.
Okay.
If you come around to the back, it's got the big CBR, welded together 2-stage tranny cooler, and then I got the big CBR oil cooler too. So
you know what? Since we're back here, we'll go through the rear of the truck, and then we'll pull.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, man. So tell us about the rear of this thing.
So yeah, rear of the truck. So 2 years ago, I went through and did the front of the truck. Rear of the truck still had the Giant stuff on it. Literally just back last winter, I finished it up just in May. Same thing. My buddy got some brand new Blitzkrieg trailing arms, and he had some old ones. So these are the Gen 1 Blitzkrieg 55-inch lower links. And then I fabricated myself some 2-inch chromoly upper links with the double adjusters in the back. Did new upper link mounts, did new lower link mounts. That's all Blitzkrieg Motorsports.
Oh yeah, let me see.
Yeah, made the upper links myself. Did the double adjust in the back, all TIG welded. That's all 4130. Did the lower links, the lower link mounts here I bought right from Blitzkrieg. Welded them up myself on the frame there. Nice, everything forward is still kind of how the truck came. It was all MIG. It was a little sloppy, but I've been kind of going over it when I'm in there working on stuff.
Dude, Rick, what do you do for work, man?
I'm actually operations manager for a automotive equipment installation company.
So you're not doing fab?
I'm not doing fab. No, not doing fab. I'm actually an office guy.
Wow, that's amazing, dude.
An office.
You're
guy
giving
us
office guys, job guys, hope, man. Look at you. You're a ripper, man. That's amazing.
So with going to the Blitzkrieg trailing arms from the Giant trailing arms, there was about a 7-inch difference in the spacing from the mounting location.
Okay.
So the shocks were real pushed up tight against the cab. So with that, I had to change all the geometry in the back and redo the upper shock mounts. So this was my new upper shock mount setup that I did. Like I said, all this stuff is literally just paper templates and holding shocks up with zip ties, and you know, cutting some plates out, did a little bit of dimple dies here and there, TIG this all in. That was kind of my second year running the TIG welder, so it looks a little bit better now. But
dude, this looks great, man.
yeah, it turned out pretty sweet. Like I said.
So what is original back here?
So all the tubes are actually original back here. Like this tube's original, this tube's original, the fuel cell's original.
Okay.
This shroud's original because it was kind of set up like a 4150 truck, so it actually didn't have a front windshield and it didn't have a back windshield. So this tube here that now returns back up into the tube that comes off the cab, there was actually, that one actually went up and stabbed in through the back window. So I had put a plexiglass window in here originally, but I really wanted the luxury pre-runner set up setured, so I ended up getting rid of all that. Yeah, wanted a closed cab. Cut all those tubes out, redid all this, threw the factory back window in there.
Epic.
Yeah, turned out pretty good. So
wonderful, bro.
Absolutely.
So then you said you got your coolers back here, some coolers.
Yeah, all the coolers are back here. The dual trans cooler, the engine oil coolers back here. There's actually a pretty slick little. This is pretty cool and original to the truck, but the storage compartment's actually pretty cool. I don't think I can get this thing open, James. I messed up one of these pins.
No worries, man.
But,
all good. All good.
But yeah,
So
the tires are on air assist shocks, so the tires actually flip up.
Okay.
And then in here's the aluminum box, so that actually flips open. And I got a cooler, I got a spare alternator, I got a spare starter, I got engine oil, transmission oil, differential oil, the whole 9 yards. I got all the spare parts in there, some tools, just your basic stuff, crescent wrenches.
Heck yeah.
Yada yada. In case you break down out in the dunes.
Well, right on, man.
We got the sand jack handles up there.
You're ready to party.
Yeah, so it parties, that's for sure.
Dude, this thing's amazing. Look at that big old rear end right there, man.
Yep.
So that's original still too, right?
Yeah, the Camberg axle came in it. That was one of the good parts that was on the truck. It came with the Willwood brakes. That was all ready to rock and roll.
Excellent.
Once we get into the engine, I'll show you the headers, but we built the headers too. That was a really tight fit because we actually kept it in between the frame rails, which the guys that run these trucks, you don't see a lot of them with the headers in between the frame rails.
They're out.
It's pretty, they're all outside. So that was a feat.
Excellent, man, excellent. And the exhaust, what is it? What do you got on that thing?
Yeah, so it's literally just custom 1 7/8 headers that run into the collectors, and it's just 2 or 3 inch duals out to some Borla XR1s with some turn downs, so it's pretty basic.
Right on. Love this, man. So were these tires, did you reset up this piece?
Yeah,
right
I had to kind of rebuild the whole rack when I went up to the 40s because it was originally set up for 35s when I bought the truck. So the mounting spots were really tight together, and I made it work with the 37s, but with the 40s I had to cut off all the stuff up here, widen it out a little bit. I kept the original handles that he had because I thought these were pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
so you can
cool.
literally just grab these on the fly, unscrew them, grab the tire off, change the tire really quick.
Very OG.
Works out pretty good.
Yeah, that's very old school.
It's pretty OG. I kind of it looks old school and it kind of matches the era of the truck,
Love it, dude. Love it, man. Heck yeah. All right, you want to check out the motor?
Yeah, sure. We can check out the engine.
Smart man. Well, all right.
Yeah, so
take us through this, my friend.
Yeah, up in here's that that LS3 520. I want to call. I was going to say 525, but it's just LS3 ported and polished heads. Maruzi cam. It's got the fast LSXR 102 intake manifold. It's got their fuel rails. I think it's got some 80 pound an hour injectors. It's got the Sniper 102 throttle body. I kind of just made this little aluminum intake thing here to try and kick the filter outside of the engine bay, keep the intake air temperatures down a little bit. Got the Howe reservoir right here, coolant reservoir, aeromotive regulator. It's got 2 pumps in the back. Pretty basic, but it runs good. Somewhere probably around 600 horsepower.
Heck yeah, man.
You can kind of see the upper shock mounts up here that I did,
right.
with the BMS stuff, and that was all same thing, just a bunch of paper templates and tape measures, and
yeah, dude, making it happen,
fun, figuring it out, making it happen. So
heck yeah,
pretty cool. It's a work in progress.
No, this is freaking awesome, man.
Yeah, so the firewall is actually pretty cool on the truck. A lot of these guys run a factory Ford firewall, but when I bought the truck, somebody had already pushed the motor back about 12 inches, and they redid all the firewall, and the tin work's actually pretty cool.
Nice.
If you kind of look up in there, it's got all the bead rolled. It's all custom firewall in the fender wells, and then actually back here where the engine sits.
Great.
So it's pretty cool. Then when I put the new McNeil 6-inch wide fiberglass, I kind of made those little, whatever you want to call it, splash guards right there, and kind of matched it to the fender, so all that mud and stuff isn't kicking up and getting into your door panels. So
yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah, it turned out pretty cool.
Heck yeah, man.
Yep.
Well, nice, man. So rebuilt it all, full upgrade.
Yeah, a truck that I wasn't really going to work on
became something, but it became something really special,
man. Something crazy. So it's kind of cool because I'm learning along the way.
Dude, hell yeah, you are.
On it, I learned something, and at the end of the day, I could say, hey, I made it my own.
You absolutely did, man. That's what I was going to say. How does that feel to have something that you worked on so hard all come together, and then you go out and you hit that jump out there.
There's nothing cooler, man. I mean, you're just in that truck that you built, you know, coming off that freaking lip on the chip, 10, 15 feet in the air, and it lands like clouds, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
and
awesome.
just like right under the tree line.
Yeah, you don't even feel it. It's so cool.
Insane.
I mean, there's
guys.
nothing more fun than driving these things.
Dude, hats off to you, bro. That is amazing. You want to take us through the inside of this thing?
Yeah. So the inside is literally one of the parts that I did not touch. This is how the truck came. You know, it's got a windshield and a back windshield now. But actually, the guy that I bought it from, that's still a friggin' old, whatever, pre-GoPro friggin' camera they got that was in here from however long ago, you know, probably early 2000s. So
Whatever this thing is, huh?
I don't even know what the heck the thing
wild.
is. I just left it in there. I've never taken it down. So yeah, he had some aluminum dash made up in here. It had all these autometer gauges in it, which
Sick.
I hooked all those zones back up. I made them work. The only thing I changed was the seats because that guy was tall and I'm a short guy. So I raised the seats up a little bit and retabbed them. I threw some new PRPs in here with some new harnesses.
Nice.
Got the PRP steering wheel with, you know, the sweet disconnect.
There it is.
And then, yeah, I got the little Terminator X thing. I just kind of zip screwed into the dash for now. But
yeah.
So when I did my McNeil fiberglass order, though, I did buy the McNeil dash, the McNeil center console. This winter, it's going to get all that. It's going to get the big Holly screen, the vintage air setup. It'll be dialed on the inside. I just wanted to get like all the running and driving parts done first, and then we can move on to creature comforts.
Okay. No, that's the way to go, man.
Yep.
That's the way to go.
Yep.
This is really great work in here, though, man. It looks like you would, you know, completely safe.
It's
in here.
it's
This
safe
is
and
really
solid.
dialed,
There's a
man.
lot of tubes going on, you know.
Yeah.
Even the door bars are freaking rowdy, you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna change that up a little bit because it's a little rowdy to get in and out of here, especially.
I would understand.
If you're a bigger fella, you know.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
taking your buddies for rides, so
Absolutely.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Super great, man. Excellent. You got your rugged radios in here?
Yep, got the rugged radios, you know, got the friggin' little old school phone jack plugged in, rocking out
Yes.
yesterday while I was running laps, so.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Switch Pros? What
Yep,
are these?
this is the RLB actually.
Okay.
Yep, so got the RLB, got the, you know, all the coolers around here.
Nice. You want to start her up?
Yeah, we can give her a rip.
Dude, it's like a low rumble, but dude, this thing it purrs.
Yeah, she purrs.
You know, it sounds good. It's not like obnoxious.
Yep.
Not that like loud exhausts are not cool, but sometimes it can be a little too loud. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
it's
probably cool to drive on the
perfect.
street.
It's not like quite as loud as Wilkie's, but it's not silent either.
No, this is great.
Yeah.
Sounds so good. Well, hell yeah, Rick. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Well, guys, there you go. Rick Mikowski's F-150 that he made his own. Super incredible to see a project started from out by us, you know, Vegas area. Moved out to Minnesota.
Yep, moved out to Minnesota.
Tyson peer pressured him to get a truck. Just kidding.
Yep.
All the guys he's hanging out with. Be careful who you hang out with. You might get a really bad, expensive hobby, is the lesson from this episode. But no, super cool to see him acquire this truck. It was 35s, now it's 40s. You know, just upgrading, making it his own, trying to keep up with these guys out here because they're wild, dude.
They're wild out here. There's some wild stuff out here.
They are, man, and just to hear like, you know, the motor, the way he built it, the fact that this isn't his day job, you know what I mean, to be a fabricator, an electrician, doing all of it himself, dude.
Yep.
Amazing, right here, bro. Hell yeah, this guy, he's the guy. Super stoked. We're gonna follow Rick as this thing progresses and moves on. Hopefully, we'll be seeing Rick next summer. We'll check on him and see how the inside of this thing looks.
Yeah.
We're gonna hold you
Check
to
out
it.
the interior.
Yeah.
We'll get some fresh paint on there.
Little
You know?
update, and maybe we'll spend some time with Rick and get some really good quality Terra Crew footage of this thing, man. And then maybe next, so not this season, but next season, maybe come out west.
Yeah, we're
maybe?
coming out west. All right.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any questions for Rick or any of the modifications, upgrades that he did to this thing, you guys can feel free to put them in the comments. Be super helpful for Rick and for us to help the page grow. Thank you guys so much. God bless. We'll see you later.
Thank you.